In this tutorial, I'm going to be explaining to you how to actually upload custom background images to your templates. A couple of examples of these are items like, I'll show you a few here. This one here has it's about joint pain, and you'll see that the background is white. It has just a gray picture in here and a transparent border around the form. Here's another one here. This is a cool one that I like. The background, it has this gray image here that fades down, and then it has a car coming out of it. And if you look at this image here, I'll just do view background image. This is all one big image. See that? And then that image is laid on top of a second image that makes up the background. So every one of these templates have two images. One is called the inner wrapper image, and the other one is called the background image. And together they make up the template, what you see on the template. A couple of these other ones that I'll show you. This is St. George, Utah Western Sky Aviation Warbird Museum, and theirs has this black background with the dots on it. Then they have a wrapper image that has the planes on it, and then their template sits on the inside of that. So I'm going to be showing you and explaining to you how to accomplish that. Stay tuned for part 2 of this video. Okay, in this presentation or this tutorial, I'm going to show you actually the part 2 of this, and that's how to actually create the background image. Now I'm using Photoshop. It's very simple and basic to lay it out. If you have any little bit of Photoshop skill, it'll go a long ways in this when you go to do this. If you don't, maybe there's somebody you know that does, and they could help you out with it. But the first thing I do is I set up a document. And this one's 951 pixels in width, 2,212 pixels in height. So these would be right around 950 by 2200. And the first thing I do is I lay out, and that's going to be, this is going to be what's called an inner wrapper, and you'll see what that is in just a few minutes. But I'm going to start laying out my page. The first thing I do is I lay down a gray box, and the gray box goes in the center, and this is my no touch zone. I'm not going to make whatever graphics I put in here, they are not going to cross over into this area here. And there's a reason for that you'll learn in a few minutes. This gray box area here, it runs right around, if I'm correct, right around 850 pixels in width, right around 900 I believe, somewhere right in there. Let me actually run this up, and oops. Let me just jump over here, and I can tell you right now, if we look at this, that one's running from 50 to 850, so right around 800. So I usually drop this box down, and I give it enough area because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a logo in here and a few other areas. So this is my no touch zone. So the first thing I'm going to lay down is my logo. So once I have that in place, I'm going to kind of line it up real quick. And this is, again, I'm building a custom template. I'm then going to lay down some money that's going to fly in on the left hand side, and what you'll see is this box is actually over top of that money. It's layered so that money comes down, and then I'm going to drop one more batch of money in at the top. So this is going to be the template I'm going to use, and I'm going to make this gray box actually that you see here. I'm actually going to make it more of the color of this money, just so it stands out a little bit brighter. Okay. And then if you want to add any shadows or anything onto your gray box, you can go ahead and add a drop shadow. And you can see how that laid down there. So that's the beginning of me building a template. And then I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to save for web, and I'm going to actually save it as a JPEG. And I'm going to call this my background. Actually, go back here. Background. And the naming does not matter, just something that you're going to remember. I did background 3. Now what I'm going to do is jump over to add to action now, and I'm going to go into create a new campaign, and inside this area I'm going to click the new button. I'm going to do generate leads. I'm going to call this one my background test campaign. Hit continue. And the first thing it's going to do is prompt me to select a template and a design for my landing page. And right now the option is selected for pre-design. I'm actually going to use custom template. And this is going to pull up a section that I need to explain to you. The first section says templates, the second section says upload background images. Now the way this works is we call it our skin and bone system. This is the wireframe of the template or the bones of the template, and this down here when you upload your images becomes the skin. It's going to skin that template with whatever graphics and images you create. Now in this example, I'm just going to jump inside here and I'm going to find a template that I want to use. Here's one here. It's kind of green. May go with the money look and feel that I want to use, or I might jump down here and look for another one that may work a little bit better. Let me go with maybe that one there. And then the next thing I do is I need to upload a background image. Now this is not the image that we created. This is you actually have to create two images. One is the one that we just created, which is called your inner wrapper image, and that's this area in blue here. The template in gray here, that's this one here. That's whatever bones you create. The inner wrapper is going to go around those bones, and then we have a main background image. And in this case, I have one that I built earlier. And I'm just going to jump in here and it's just going to be a black background image. I'm going to hit upload, and then the next one I do, I select display background images. I go down here and hit display wrapper image. This is going to be the one that we just created here, and we actually called that background 3. I'm going to grab that, and then I hit I agree and I click this upload button. Now what that's doing is that's going to take the image that we created and it's going to take my black background image, and the black background image actually needs to be about 1950 by 1250. So you're talking about 1950 wide by 1250 high, and that's this dark black image here. And then you'll see it threw in my new image right there that I created, and then it selected the bones or the wireframe and it dropped it in there. So it's combining those three images together. I hit save, and then the next thing I'm going to do after I save it is I'm going to hit save and continue. And I always like to do that because it assures me that the templates were uploaded, the images were uploaded properly before I continue on to the next step. It'll tell me if there's any errors otherwise. So I hit save and continue. Now I'm going to select which data I want on my lead form. I'm going to hit save and continue again, fill out any other information on this page. And then we're going to go to the area that says add content and more, and we're going to hit this edit offer page. And this is going to actually pull up the template now with our new graphics that we just created in it. And as you see, the text is going to overlay it a little bit odd. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click inside this red area here, and I'm going to push this down until that lines up better with my template. And it lets me later it in. I might remove that text because I don't need it. And then this slogan I may even remove as well. So if I want, I could even take that up just like that or drop it down. And what I basically have done is I've created a custom template with my own wrapper image. As you can see here, I've got my main black background image with the little polka dot things. I've got my money image that I just created with my money coming around, my logo. And I kind of cut that last part of that video off, but I wanted to kind of show you one more thing. Let's say, for instance, you don't like how that inside template turned out. You have an option here where you can actually make that invisible and or transparent. And I'll show you an example. If you look at this one here, you'll see how the actual form and the inside template's transparent, so you don't see anything but the background image that's coming through. And you can do that by coming down here. There's a template called 883, and you'll see that it has these areas designated to edit, and these are all going to be transparent areas. So if I chose that and I hit save, we're going to preview this template again, and it's going to look different now because you're not going to see the template the way that it did before. It's actually going to just show you that background area that I had created there. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. Let me go ahead and I'll edit this real quick. And I'll just walk through this process rather quickly. And I know this video is a little bit long, but it's well worth it once you learn how to do this. It really makes a big difference. I'm going to edit the offer page, and we're going to jump inside here, and we will now push down this content, and you can see how you can, if you want to, delete out this here, and you'll have your own areas where it just pulls in using the background. And some of these may not be totally positioned 100%, so you may need to go in there and adjust the text a little bit. But you can kind of get an idea of how that works. So if you're using an invisible template, or you're using one of the pre-existing frame set ones going in there, you can kind of get real creative on creating your template and making it work. Some of the samples of this is using the invisible one here. See how nice that looks? And that was all done using the custom builder. Here's one here with the invisible. Here's the one here with the invisible setup. And what I mean by invisible is all those frames are invisible, and so you're seeing through them at the background image that you created. This background image here, if I hit View Background, you can see how that was designed with a transparency, so it would bleed through to the actual background. Jumping over here, again, this one is not using transparency. And then I'll show you one last one here, which is not using the transparency, but it does have the wrapper image designed around it. So you can make them real nice, get real creative on them, and it makes for a very good design and option for kind of removing the limitations. So anyhow, I just want to share that with you so you understand it. Practice makes perfect. Get in here and play around with it and see what you can come up with and do. The better you are at understanding the system and the little tweaks you need to make things work the way you need them to work, you're going to be able to start producing just some beautiful templates and very nice custom designs. And we're always here to help out. We will be adding a pre-built PSD file to this area here that you'll be able to download that has all the layers and everything already pre-set up in it. So all you have to do is get in there and manipulate it. So watch for that. It should be coming soon. And then other than that, I hope this video has been helpful, and I did more help than confusion. So if you didn't quite catch it, rewind it, watch it again. And I know it's a little bit complicated topic when you're dealing with Photoshop and graphics and uploading it as templates, but a few times you watch it and go through it and try it, you're going to get it down, and you'll be making some great templates. Appreciate it.